Welcome, friends, to another episode of Hot Takes Cold Brew. I'm your host, Garie, and I'm here with my wonderful, super chill co-host, Danielle. Danielle, say hi.
Hello.
For this episode, we read Too Old for This by Samantha Downing, and we have some takes. But first, we're going to start off with a bit of a summary. Danielle, could you please tell our audience what this book is about?
Yes, I can. And you're in for a treat, readers. This is a great read, a fun read. We follow Lottie Jones. She is probably one of the most prolific serial killers in America. By the end, you get to that body count, and you're thinking, how did she do it? Anyway, the book follows her as she both reflects on her previous kills as well as kills other new people in her life. Generally justified, but you be the judge. Throughout the book, she grapples, her physical health. Is her mind declining? Is she too old to continue murdering? So, Too Old for This. Great read, fun read. Highly recommend. I really enjoyed this book.
I thought you would.
I didn't think I would at first. I was like, this seemed like one of them. It reminded me of books you read at a book club where it's like you could tell what happens, but I was pleasantly wrong and surprised. Very good.
I was a little nervous that like the murders would be gratuitous. But
They kind of were, but like not in like a super over the top way.
yeah, but like because there were a lot of them, but it was so like funny because she's like 75 years old, right? Yeah, she's 75 years old.
She's like in her 70s.
And the way that she's just able to take these people out in like the oldest schools of ways.
Right. Well, honestly, I think when she got in the game when police work was not as technologically advanced, so she knows.
Yeah, but like I thought that was hilarious. Like I was just like, this is actually kind of funny. Although I don't know that I was rooting for her. I did want her to get caught because I was like, you're doing too much.
Didn't. I was rooting for her.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like it would be too cliche for her to get caught.
You
Now,
thought-
what I did want was for her to like confess everything to that guy, even though he wasn't gonna survive. Like I wanted her to be able to. So for the the ending is left open as to whether that final person will die or not. I mean, I assume they will, but
Mom's boyfriend?
yeah. But in my mind, I thought it would be nice if she just like ran him down the whole story and then killed him or something like that. I don't want her to get caught. She's already like, let her live. She's retiring.
No,
And
she's
bringing her back. It's like John Wick. Don't ask for smoke if you don't want smoke.
See,
She told that girl she didn't want to be in it. She pressing. That's on you.
look, I get it. Plum's death, which also I have to say, so for the viewers, this book, it literally starts within the first 10 pages, which I liked. I liked that they got right into the action immediately.
I think it worked for this story. It does not always work.
Correct.
Be immediate.
Right.
It does not always work out. Sometimes you hit a lull directly after that action.
That's true.
This book was start to finish.
Action packed, yeah.
This was one of the fastest reads I've had. It was pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Real easy to finish.
Yeah. The main character, Lottie, right? That's her name?
Lottie.
Lottie. She does her first murder of this girl. Her name is Plum. And my whole thing with her murder situation, like her murdering Plum, fine. I'd be cool with the whole like, well, this is a story, so like it is what it is. But like from a logical standpoint, I was just like, girl, you killed the girl, like leave it alone. But then she just like kept doing all this extra shit.
Well, she had to cover her tracks. But I also think too, like you can't really, if you're gonna read a book like this, obviously you're not. You have to suspend disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, but also
like truly like get into the nitty gritty of a 75-year-old woman being a prolific serial killer at that age.
That's true, but also I want her to get caught because she's out here killing people still. Like it's not like
People,
she's
how many
one
people do you think are out here now with bodies, with body counts? Like, everyone
but
gets caught.
it's not the fact that she just has body counts like from her past. Like it was like still from the 80s or whatever, and then she got caught.
Evidence.
I'd be like, yeah, leave her alone. She hasn't murdered someone in decades.
She wasn't
But
going to
like,
murder anyone else again.
I don't know if that's true.
I think so. Because she really, if you look at every murder, it was always for a reason. Whether she was trying to just cover her tracks or like she wasn't just out here killing for the love of the game anymore. Like the first ones, it was like, they made you mad, but this was, it was kind of, this is for the love of the game. But now it's like, I'm trying to live my quiet life, drink my tea, watch my.
You talking about Plum?
No, Lottie, she's out here living. She go to church. She's going to her little bingo night. She's chilling. Here comes this podcaster. Hey, I want to do a story about you. She's like, no, I've started a new life. I'm chilling.
And she could have left it at that, to be honest with you.
Well, that girl wasn't gonna stop, so she just, the detectives had they let it go. You don't have no body. You don't have nothing. You just moving on hunches. Had they let it go, and old girl tried to bribe her, had you let it go, would you go bribing one of the most prolific serial killers in North America? That's just dumb. You think you bigger than the program. Sorry about your luck, Kelsey.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, like with the blackmail situation where Kelsey was like,
well, I found out who you really are. You think you're not gonna die? Come on now. We're talking about 8 people.
Yeah, if I was
no nothing, and you think little old you by yourself blackmail this girl, and she telling you I don't have the cash. Why you pressing her? Come on. That's on you. That's on you. All these people had it coming. You see the other detective, he made it unscathed. They were like, hey, we cool. We got it.
Yeah.
He wrapped it up. He didn't have no like, this don't feel right. He was like, case closed, tie a bow on it, we're done.
I think if I were Kelsey, I wouldn't think that this 75-year-old woman was going to murder me. Like, I would have assumed, like...
I would. If you really think she just killed this woman for asking her to participate in a fucking podcast...
You think she thought that I think Kelsey, the police officer... I think
she thought she killed Plum. She knew, because how would you not think that was connected? You got all these other murders you were accused of, somehow got off. Yeah, now this other woman who was last at your house went missing? Yeah, she thought she did that shit.
Okay, but like, I don't think she thought like she killed Plum with her bare hands. Like, if I thought a 75-year-old woman was going to
roll up and shoot you then?
What?
You don't think she roll up to your house and shoot you? Or you came to this woman's house, you went into her living room to blackmail her. You lucky you didn't get killed right there.
I just think that, like, if a 75-year-old woman wants to square up with me, I think that it would be like at least a good fight. Like, I didn't think that, like, I think she saw Lottie and was like, I could fuck her up.
I'm not testing those serial killers. These folks kill well into their age.
Yeah, like through poison and stuff. Like, Lottie's killing people with her bare hands.
I mean, she hit you in the right spot. You knocked out. Then what?
I think I just don't know.
Hit her over the head.
Yeah, but like, it's crazy because like, she's not even like someone who exercises and shit. Like, I just don't, in my head, Lottie seems low-key frail.
I mean, I think that adrenaline is stronger than you're giving it credit for. Because a lot of times, too, it's like, I gotta kill this person or else. Like, she operating off a different...
She's like built different.
No, I just think adrenaline takes over, allows you to do stuff you probably wouldn't consciously do. And I think that showed many times where she got in these tussles with folks and she like, my arthritis acting up, my arm is banged up. That's why she said she's getting too old for this. She knew. She's like, I can't keep this up. I'm not recovering. I'm not recovering quickly.
Oh my God.
I just thought it was fun. I'm glad she got away. They always want to end with the morally righteous thing. I mean, yeah, if she was real, sure, I guess. These folks need to stop messing with her. They need to stop messing with her.
I think, I mean, I just feel like her conflict resolution is a bit over the top. I will say one thing that
She's a serial killer, so I think that sort of comes with the territory. Your conflict resolution skills can't be the best.
right,
Like
but
if you are a murderer, obviously you're operating a little differently than the rest of us.
true.
You gotta rationalize like something that's inherently illogical.
I mean, yeah, I
It's
do,
not
but like,
logical to kill somebody.
it's not. But my thing is, Lottie seems outside of like murdering people, like she seems pretty like down to earth and grounded. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
Right.
like
So
when
like,
people are like, look, you once you push me to that edge, that's it.
right. She's like the, what is that phrase? She's the wrong one on the right day. Like that's who she
Exactly.
is. Like
Exactly. Because as they reflected, they went back on the previous murders. I'm like, well,
a lot of them, yeah, it was just like, yeah, like
got
had
the
you just
guy?
not
No,
that,
but I can see why this woman with rage did kill you.
because the first guy she murdered was off of some shit that I was like, wow, this could have just been a bad dating story. Like
That one,
that
I was
was,
like, well, it is what it is, I guess.
yeah. For the viewers, essentially her first murder ever was, she was like what, in her 20s, right? Like her late
Yeah,
20s,
yeah,
early
she was
30s.
young,
Yeah.
probably
Um
20s, maybe early 30s at most.
and she saw a guy that like normally like frequented her job as like a bank teller or whatever,
Hmm.
and they went out for drinks, or she was out and about and they were out for drinks, and then when she went back to his place he said that he thought she was younger, and that really set her off. And what did she do?
They were like in the shower together, and I
Yeah,
forget what he said or did, but she pushed him back. He slipped and he hit his head.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that
yeah,
was gentle, but she was like, "Yeah, I ain't calling nobody for you."
yeah. Right, yeah,
And
so
to be
it was
honest,
like,
yeah, that's a tough one. I guess if you immediately called, you could just be like, "Oh my God, he tripped."
yeah, right, right,
But she
right,
didn't want to associate. She didn't want to be associated with it, and
yeah,
turns out that ended up being the father of her child.
right, which was interesting. And then I was disappointed about Morgan, the fiance,
Oh,
the
I
second
like
wife.
Morgan.
Yeah, but I thought there was going to be a little bit more with that, and I was kind of hoping that like maybe there was like something.
I just thought
I
it
don't know.
showed that she was really an accepting woman. I mean, they became very close and they developed a bond. I think it was just like a little sub story to show, just to humanize her more.
Lottie.
Lottie, and I think to just, yeah, I think it was just to develop different
But
relationships in the
there was
story.
that whole thing where
Her.
Morgan was like trying to catch Lottie in that lie. Like she like pulled up to the church,
Oh, I
and she,
don't think she was like really trying to catch her in a lie. I think Morgan was just really naive.
oh really? I was like,
Yeah,
this
I
naive
think that you're reading
bitch.
into that a lot. I think Morgan was like really excited to get to know Lottie, and Lottie was like the only person who kind of let her in even a little bit. And I think she was just genuinely
That's
excited to
so.
just like be a part of her life. I don't think it was deep at all.
I got the opposite read because because you know what it is, because the
But she
son
let
was
it go.
tracking, huh?
Because she immediately let it go when she was like, "Oh, it's different, whatever." She was like, oh, "Okay," like
I mean, yeah, I guess
Morgan does not seem that smart. She's not written that intelligent.
I don't know. But like, I read it differently. I felt like she was a little bit more astute than Lottie originally thought, because she knew that nobody liked her. She knew, and she was like talking about that, and she was very more like she was a lot more self aware than how Lottie described her before having that her visit. And then I thought it was suspect because after she found the finger, and then later on finding out that like whatever the son's name is was tracking Lottie's phone.
Hmm.
I was like, maybe she's involved. Like, I don't know. I felt like that storyline could have
I
done
think
a little bit more.
no.
Because
I think basically what it was she, because her son was tracking the phone, 'cause she's worried about her health or whatever. I think Morgan knew that, and I think she was just like, let me try to get close to her. You know, she's getting older. We're gonna have a grandchild. I really think she was just trying to build a bond, and I think maybe she just wanted that acceptance so badly that she just wasn't really trying to press her on all that stuff. Even if she in the back of her mind was like, well, that is still weird. She just kind of was like, I'm gonna let it go.
yeah, I mean that's kind of how it was written, but it was just it seemed like it fizzled in a way, at least to me, it fizzled in a way that didn't seem like natural. Because I thought it just seemed like there was a buildup.
I mean, it does
Because
make you wonder, is she gonna press her on it? But I was kind of glad she didn't. I would not have wanted another like detective-esque person like, whoa, what's going on with this, what's going on with this. And
well,
sometimes that's real life, you know, people have weird shit and you're like, I don't want to know more.
well, I guess the thing that because I would have been interested if there was like, not interested, but I would think that a sequel, because I don't know, I thought Morgan might have had like a weird murder streak or something on her
Oh
own.
no,
Like,
I
I don't
would not
know.
have wanted that. Oh my god, no.
No.
No,
Why?
I don't want a sequel. I think this was perfect the way that it is.
A limited.
I see. That's when they start doing too much. Now you're a murderer too. Now we murdering together. No. Now we're getting into strange places. I like this.
Just as is.
Yeah, it's just like the detective Tula. He pushed, but then he was like, all right. And I think that's very real too, because sometimes, and I can see if you're a detective, it can be, is it the easy answer or is it this intuition that I have? You know, you don't always
Mm,
know what's right, and your gut is not always right, no matter what the gut people say.
right.
I always listen to my gut, and I'm like, well, it's been wrong about 2011 times, but okay.
Right. Sometimes let's
So
do some logical
I
reasoning in
do
there.
sometimes, and I wonder if you're in some sort of, if you're in a job like that, I think you kind of have to wonder. There is a point at which you have to say, all right, I kind of think something's off, but I also, there's nothing here for me to go on. I can't really prove anything.
Right.
You have to make the decision to let it go. Like, all right, I found a finger in your freezer. Do I know what a real, do I know that this isn't a prosthetic?
Right.
Not necessarily. This story sounds, it don't sound right, but I also, if it, because then I'm thinking, if it is a real finger, what are
Now
the
I'm in a weird
implications
situation.
of me knowing this? So I do feel like Morgan was like, you gave me an answer, I'm gonna believe that.
Fair. Fair. That was probably the smart thing to do.
Correct. I
Yeah.
mean, now do I think she's gonna kill a pregnant woman? No. But I think that might have been a bridge too far, because that's her own grandchild then.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
But yeah. Because even
And
her
Lottie,
church friends, they didn't even press her. They were like, girl, what? And then they just kind of like, whatever, man. I don't
yeah, they were more pressed about like how her appearance than
know. Right.
anything.
They were
Just
more
like,
worried about, like, why are you not bringing the right food to bingo?
oh my gosh. The Norma Plum's mom
Man, I hated that
storyline.
character. I was so happy she finally died. I was like, girl, you gotta let it go. You're not getting your daughter back. You will not find a body. It's over.
Oh my god.
It's over. It's a
Well, I
cold
think she needed I mean for I will
I get it. I'm sure she wanted
yeah,
closure. I'm sure she wanted to know what happened, but like, you're not
you're
getting
not. Yeah. It,
it.
it it was a nice little like and like I thought she was a pretty decent antagonist
She was.
for
She was.
Lottie.
I'm glad
And
she ultimately lost, because obviously you're not in the streets like that. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know
right, she was
what
messy.
right. Like, yeah.
She was all over the place. And like she just gave Lottie way too much. For Lottie to be out the game for so long and be able to like look at her social media and start texting like her and doing all the extra shit, I'm like, you are so messy that this
Right.
lady who's off the grid goes back on
I
the
mean,
grid
it
for
worked
like,
though. She did. She had the prepaid phone. She was just like, but I did think it was nice that they threw in like where she made mistakes because you are getting older. And just,
yeah,
I think inherently with murder, I've obviously never committed one. I would imagine that it would be difficult to perfect all of these things every single time, right? Like,
right.
because you even see that with these true crime shows now. Some odd years later, or something connects you. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
can't have all these loose ends. So I thought that was nice that the book showed that as she aged, that it was very different to not only commit a crime but cover it up, deal with
Right.
her physical health as well as just her mind not remembering everything, just making
Hmm.
little mistakes. I thought that was nice. It didn't show her as this superhuman serial
Although
killer.
it did her her strength amazed me throughout the book. I was like, damn, like Lottie is strong as fuck.
I
Like,
don't think you should be that surprised. I think, like, first of all, I think there are many people who are pretty able. I mean, my grandma's like 86. She could do a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, well, all right. Like, some people are frailer than others. Some people are pretty tough. And I think
mm,
adrenaline is the main answer there. Like, this woman was tied up. So she's
that's
going to
true.
do anything she can to get out of that situation. I mean, the book showed several times where she was overpowered.
When,
Well, when she got tied up, she did get overpowered.
yeah, but she was drugged.
Yeah, but then even when she got up, it was still like a fight. I don't know. I just think, and then with the detective's son, she had kind of a fight with him. He slammed the door on her. Like it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think part of it is too like if these other characters they weren't going into this. You're not going into this squaring up. Like you're going into this
right,
thinking you're getting answers. All of a sudden, the tables have turned.
right. They
You're
get caught
taken
off
by
guard.
surprise. You don't
Yeah,
need that much
that's
leverage
true.
on your side, right? Like if somebody
Yeah,
just blindside you, you're not going to be ready to
right, right, right,
to go
right. Yeah,
down.
that's fair. But yeah, I think also she's pretty. She is, I think, very smart, and she's able to kind of like plan ahead, and she knows that they're not
Right.
thinking she's gonna like fuck them up. I will say though, Plum getting killed over an umbrella,
I
like
think
with
it
an
was a
umbrella.
decorative. I don't think it was a real. I assume it was one of those like have you ever seen like those decorative ones? Like they just sit in the stand. They're like kind of metal or they're hard or whatever. I don't think it was a real. I don't assume it was a real umbrella because those aren't
I
very
mean,
heavy.
oh, I've never seen that. Like I thought it was like those fancy ones for sure, with like the handle that's like a very specific
Mhm.
whatever.
Either the end was pointy enough to kind of like impale, or I just assumed it was one of those like I don't know, kind of like how you see door stops and they're just really heavy, like the decorative ones.
Mm,
I just assumed it was something like a decorative type of umbrella because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, just a regular umbrella? I don't know
yeah,
if you could really do that. So I assumed it had to be some decorative one of some kind where it had some weight to it.
that's fair.
Because I don't know how you would do that, but
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting choice. I also thought it was one thing I thought was kind of interesting, but I think it's like I don't know if it's like a murderous tick, but how she serves everyone tea.
yeah.
Like I thought that was kind of funny. Like I don't know, because it seems like she's like setting up herself to be like it's like her pregame of like I'm ready to kill somebody.
I think it's just her way of listening, right? And her way of connecting with them because she always says, "Oh, that's my favorite," even though it doesn't matter what they choose. I think it's just a way of her disarming them to her
Mm, that's fair.
because it's like, "Oh, she made me tea. She gave me some cookies.
Cookies,
We like
yeah.
the same tea." And she does she's very good at listening, so I think people are just talking talking talking, so I think
Yeah.
she just creates this really comfortable environment. And the only reason she didn't see Norma would have fell for it too had she not been conversing with the detective from the first
Bert.
cases.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
glad he died too. He need to let that go. Boy, enjoy your retirement.
Oh
You
my
can't
God.
win
He
every.
was
You're not gonna win every case.
in a wheelchair. I was like, leave him alone. She
He
fucking
gonna let
threw.
her. She would have. What do you mean, leave him alone? What was this in the 80s? Boy, you done
Oh,
wasted your life on this.
literally got his son killed over it. That's
Right.
crazy.
Like, that's on you. And you in a wheelchair. What do you think you're gonna do? On an oxygen tank? Come on now. Stupid. That's what I'm saying. These people didn't think. You older than Lottie. You just really wanted, and that's why the only thing I would have changed were if she when before she killed him, I feel like it would have been funny for her to just give him the satisfaction of telling him everything that happened.
That, yeah, for sure. I thought that would have been a good time for her to like confess. Um, and I was a little disappointed that she didn't, but also it's her story. And she was
But then
like,
I kind of
mind
like
your
that he
fucking
died.
business.
Now I know, like you just wasted your whole life on this. Let it go. There's a lesson
Yeah,
to be learned there. Sometimes you just gotta know when to call it. You can't spend your
yeah,
whole life on something like that.
yeah,
You
you
never,
need to,
and it's like you never had a body. Like you never had a body. You never had any real evidence. You moved on your hunch. Like I just know it was you. Okay, well,
well, you
boy,
can't.
that got you.
Oh my God, that shit is so funny. And like, honestly, I do appreciate how petty she was, where she was like, I'm not gonna even let you know that I did it. You're
Right,
gonna
it's off GP. I'm gonna just go ahead and kill you. So you know I did it, but you don't really know. You ain't ever gonna get the how, the when, the what, none of that. And your son dead. Wow.
Oh,
She
D,
really
yeah.
put. She was like, "Oh, you're the loser, son." Like, oh my god. Yo, this book was funny. This is probably one of
Yeah,
the funniest books I've read in a minute.
yeah, no, it was a fun read. It was definitely like entertaining. I definitely enjoyed it. Um, do
I
you want to
read
get into
I read it
the
on a flight, and I know people were looking at me like, "She really enjoyed that book." I'm like, "Yeah, this is a funny one, guys.
yeah,
I would recommend this."
you would?
Yeah, like there are people. So this is a book that I would recommend to people who I know they don't read stuff I like, but I'm like, "You'd like this."
Yeah, this is like a pretty palatable book, I think.
Not
Like I
too deep for them, but it's also better than what they read.
yeah, yeah, and I think there's also takeaways too, like to your point of like you got to let things go. Like there's like metaphors and stuff
Yeah,
in there that you could like look
I thought the
into.
author did a really good job with that.
Yeah, because it definitely came up a lot,
Mhm.
and like, and not just with this whole murder thing, but like with Lottie controlling her son and her son controlling
Yeah,
her, and there's a lot of like you can't control things, and things will just happen however they happen, and you have to kind of like move forward. So
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of like feel goods and like um,
a lot of stuff to think about.
lessons, yeah, lessons to learn.
Because just even the overarching theme of just kind of facing your own mortality a bit, I think that's an interesting point. She made
Yeah,
a lot of interesting commentary on that. Like even her thinking, do I need to go to this retirement home, and you know, different things
yeah,
like that. So I thought it was really. I actually was really surprised at the depth of this book for it being such a like a
yeah, fun.
popcorn type of read. Because I wouldn't call it a beach read. I think that's a lot deeper than
Mm-mm.
that. But it's just it is really it's a fun, easy read. It's not. Some books feel really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 no, for sure. Like I like you reading on the plane, I think it's like a airport book that you could read.
Yeah,
Or if you're just like in between books and
yeah. I think
whatever.
it's something fun. I think it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good, and but it's not. It's not dumb where you feel like your intelligence is insulted, right? You guys suspend your disbelief a little bit, but there's themes
Mhm.
in there that are very well fleshed out, I think.
Yeah. I agree. And I do think I think I on Goodreads I rated it a 3.5, like a 3, but
I know.
to round
Oh,
up.
Derek's gonna like this book.
but I wanted to rate it a 3.5 because I do think it's good. I think it's better than average. It's just like not like my favorite book. And I did it to your point, like it's not like it's an easy read. It's not like overly hard, but
Yeah.
like there's not a lot of depth in it, but there's enough where you're like, this is a book. Like you
It's
know what I
thought
mean?
provoking for sure, I thought.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice that it wasn't overly long or overly, you know, because that's the thing. I think the author knew her lane. She knew, hey, we don't need it to be, we don't need to go
Yeah.
super over the top, but we also don't need to make it more than what it is. Like, this is a book about a serial killer. We don't need to humanize her too much.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. It was very straightforward, very easy. I feel like also I don't know that I would consider this like a great book club book. I think this is like a good solo book to
Yeah.
endeavor. It's like if you want to read a book just to like do an activity, this is like a good book. And you could
It is
talk
a good
about
book, yeah.
because like there's not a lot of because it's hard to like have different views on this book. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's straightforward enough where like there
Yeah.
isn't a lot of conversation pieces around it, but it's like I enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah.
there's some things that we could have thought differently about, but I don't know.
I could see people taking a really hard line stance about like about her not getting caught. Because
Mhm.
murder is one of those things, it's like cheating to me. It's one of those things where some people, it's very, I can't root for you, you know?
But then you want to pick
They're
up this
probably
book.
reading this book the whole time waiting for her to get caught.
I think if you feel that strongly about murder, then you should not read this book.
Probably not, but they may not know that. And I think if you assume it ends as many books do with a
Like
happy,
a
right
yeah.
ending, you might think she confesses or gets caught.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that. That's true. But even if that is the case, the book is so fucking funny throughout that it's just like,
It's
why?
definitely, I think you should be able to get past it, but I
Yeah.
do know there are those people who are like, she's a murderer.
I mean, yeah, like I would have like I wasn't like super rooting for her either, and I was like I would have liked her to get caught, but like I wasn't upset that she didn't get caught either. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a
I
interesting.
think that's why I was happy she did it. Not because I like murder, but because I think that it's just not often you get the villain wins. And I think there should be more books where the villain, like people should
Yeah,
sit with that. Everything don't end
right.
easy
That's life.
peasy. Life, man. And I thought it was like, what a fun book that you don't have to take too seriously. It's not like she trivialized anything,
Mhm.
but some people get away with things.
Yeah, yeah, and also even it wasn't even just her and murder. It was like how her son left his first family,
Right, yeah.
and
Yeah,
like there were like very little consequences for him doing
right.
that. Like it was just like it was a lot of that. There was a lot of
Mhm.
like people sometimes and like even with Kelsey the cop, her she's having money problems. It's like, well, you're gonna die, I guess. Like, like just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
life isn't always how you
Life.
plan it to be, and like you have to kind of just roll with the punches type stuff. So,
Yeah,
I
that
thought,
lady was
yeah,
like embezzling from the church or something. And I mean, she really just got kicked out of the church.
mm,
It's not like she got arrested.
yeah,
They were just like, yeah, so you not gonna be running bingo night.
yeah. Oh my god,
Which I was
yeah,
happy she went down. I was like, yeah, Glenda, the self righteous. You can't
yeah.
win with that attitude. What a loser.
Yeah. Honestly, Lottie's haters were unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um, she's funny. But yeah, I thought it was good. What did you rate the book on Goodreads?
I gave it a 4. Only because I just wanted her to like have the satisfaction of like telling someone what she did, even if it wasn't going to lead to her getting caught. I kind of wanted her to like have the catharsis of like sharing with someone.
That's interesting. I think the fact that it was a secret is what she liked.
Well, she grappled with that, remember, because it was like how she had that conversation with Burke. Do you want to be famous? Or you want to solve the
Mm,
case? Like, is this about your legacy? And she questioned that. And I think that's why she is like, she doesn't care to be known as this, which is fine. I
Yeah.
just think it's interesting. I don't. That's a lot to just keep to yourself. Like that body count was high.
Yes.
Like, woo. Okay.
No, for sure. Uh, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't, this is like one of the very few times where I'm just like, I don't mind that rating that you've given because I think it's fair.
It's a good book.
Yeah, no.
My star ratings are more enjoyment based rather than just like, I don't have like a complex rubric system here. Did I enjoy it? Did I think it was well written? Did it end satisfactorily? All right. Would I
Yeah,
recommend?
I would recommend this too. I think it's good. But yeah, I agree with a lot of things you said. It was what it was. I don't know. Um, do you have anything else that you want to talk about with the book?
No, that was good.
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot to say. It's just like it's a pretty good.
If you're listening to this, definitely read it. I don't think many people would dislike this book. I didn't see very many low reviews on Goodreads.
Me neither. Like a lot of people had a good time reading it. I will say, I I don't know what drew me to this book, but I feel like people might just like not necessarily like pick it up just based off the cover.
Yeah.
But it is fun, so highly recommend.
I was very surprised you picked this book.
Um,
I was like, wow. I don't know why she picked this one, but it was a good one.
yeah, no, I thought it was like I saw the synopsis and I was like, okay, this seems like a fun little thing. I like to have fun. I can get down.
I don't know. It just seemed like I would have guessed maybe it was a little lowbrow for you. Hey, it was great.
Oh my god, I'm there's more to me than
Multi-dimensional.
yes. I have multiple facets of what I like. Okay, and I enjoyed this book. Oh my god, no, I thought this reading another book.
I stopped reading it for a while because I've been doing other stuff, and I had to read this book, and I was just like, I'll pick it back up. And I did go because you ever read books where it's like it's going along, and then you hit this lull, and so then I went on Goodreads, and other people were like, yeah, if you can get to this part, I was like, oh, okay, so it'll pick back up. So I just got to get through this boring middle. Well, you know what? I don't even say boring. It's kind of like repetitive. It's like, okay, I got it. You're doing this.
What book is this?
It's called Theo of Golden, and I don't know. I really can't tell you much about it because I have a feeling that the end will give me more color.
Okay.
But that's why I'm like, okay, I just need to probably get through the next 50 pages.
All right.
Really considering skipping them, but in the interest of completion, I will read them.
All right. Well, maybe we could talk about it in more detail.
When I actually finish it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to start Hamnet. Although,
oh right, yeah, you've been talking about that.
Well, I don't know if I'll watch the movie because I didn't like that girl that said she hated cats as a cat lover. Good for the Oscar. And you know what? It's not that she didn't like cats. It was the vitriol with which she talked about cats. And she also mentioned, because this was like unprompted by her. Like, I don't even remember the question they asked her in this interview, but she's like maniacally laughing about how much she hates cats. And then she's like, yeah, I made my fiance get rid of his cats. And I just kind of felt like that's a shitty thing to do. I would never ask someone to get rid of their pet. Like, why would I?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like, imagine someone asking you to get rid of Oliver. Like, no.
No. You're just gonna have to wait until he dies. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's like a weird request.
Right. That's why it's like cat, dog, fish, whatever it is. I feel like it's just like a rude request.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even the cats. It was just like, you seem like
A
terrible.
person I don't like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem like a person I don't care for. So then she won the
Interesting.
Oscar, and I was like, I may not watch the movie, but I'll read the book.
Is this Jessie Buckley?
Yeah, Jessie Buckley. Probably every blurb about her is about how she hates cats now.
Oh, interesting. I don't really care for her like little smirk.
See what I mean? That's the type of person that asks you to get rid of your pet.
Yikes. I don't care for
I was
that.
totally cool with her until I heard that, and I was like, well, that's what did cats ever do to you?
Yeah. Um,
But
that's
yeah,
crazy.
so I don't know. I'll probably watch it anyway. It's not that serious.
Speaking of shows, or not shows, but like things to watch, but I've been watching 56 Days or 57 Days with that guy from Victorious. And I don't know if the acting is bad or if it's supposed to be this cringe. And I don't know if you know.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Is it the source material or the delivery here?
Also, it's apparently based off of a book, and it's like a romance thriller,
Oh.
and at first it's unclear how this affair even starts, right? Because there's like a murder and like it starts with a murder in an apartment, in this like luxury apartment, and then it like keeps going back and forth between like present day from the 56 days and then day one. And then it's these people they meet in the grocery store, and it's so awkward. Like you can't even tell that they like each other. And and then it escalates so fast.
Oh.
It's so weird. Then they like start hooking up and all this stuff. She moves in like 2 weeks.
I guess
And
57 days that's a pretty quick timeline there.
yeah, yeah. But like it turns out, because at first you think he's weird, which he is. He's super weird. And he like waits for her outside of the grocery store, which I would have been like, I don't know that I like that. But he waits for her outside of the grocery store. Yeah. And then, right. And then asks her to coffee immediately. And she's like, yeah, I'm down. And I'm like, you don't have nothing to do. I don't know what
like, nah, I'm busy. What if it's an idiot like, hey, I see that you just bought groceries. Did you want to get coffee? No, I'd like to put my yogurt in the refrigerator.
Exactly. Exactly. But no, she ends up, they go get coffee, and then he asks her out on a date. And then the date was so awkward. He lies immediately. He's like, I've never been to this place before. The server's like, nice to see you again. And she's like, so then you're already like, you're like, this is suspicious. Then it turns out that the girl is the person stalking him. She like has been following this guy from city to city.
It's really difficult to like write. Like this feels like a very complex. I feel that you should read the book because there's no way this works as a TV show.
It doesn't.
Like, this is too layered. You need like chapters with flashbacks and like.
Yeah, and
No.
it's like it was so extra. You're just like, what the fuck is happening? And then it's like I don't know. There's like apparently a thing about a murder, and at first I thought it was like he murdered her brother. He did not murder her brother. He murdered someone who was hurting her brother, and then he was scared, told his dad that he killed somebody, and then her brother went to prison for life, and this whole thing is like revenge because her brother went to prison for life, but he saved her brother's life. And quite frankly, had he just said like this kid was gonna kill this other kid, this whole thing would have never happened.
I thought I needed a character map just for this synopsis.
Yeah,
Like this was a lot.
it's very hard to follow. It's because at first I was gonna just like watch it while I worked, and I was like, I have to focus on this show. If I can't.
Yeah, I think you need to read the book and see if that comes across better because that sounds like something that's better read first.
Yeah, but now I don't know that I want to read it because I'm like I have 2 episodes left of the
That's
season.
fair. But I do. Well, it's season. Are they continuing?
I hope not.
Because
It might though,
that's
because
what did I read that I'm like that should not be a series. Like there's just no reason to drag it out. You know.
the book
It's
that we read the other day, the what's it called?
maybe, but no, it was something else that I saw that they were making. I'm like,
Dark
but
Matter.
so this happens with a lot of the books that what you call it, Reese Witherspoon that they end up making for shows.
Yeah,
It doesn't need to be that dragged out. Like the book is fine enough. They're not
yeah.
ever really great. They're not horrible, but you don't need a mini series. You don't need a multi. Like
Well,
you
I
don't.
think the book. I think the book might have a sequel. I have to look it up because I did look up the ending of this series.
Yeah,
Because I was like, this. I don't know where this is going, and
yeah.
it's gonna stress me out. So I looked it up, and then they were like, it's left open ended, and I think there was a reference to the book because I don't know, but they're crazy, and it's just like
Yeah.
this didn't need to be a TV show.
Now, I will say a TV show. There's no book, but
Yeah.
a very fun TV show that I've been enjoying airing now is TTF St. Louis. I don't know if you've seen that. It's on
No, what is?
HBO Max.
Oh,
Uh, I don't know why I watched it, but it's very funny.
what's it called?
It's called DTF St. Louis, and it's not
Oh,
gonna make any sense unless you just like watch it. But it's I feel like it's way funnier than it should ever be.
I've been seeing ads about that.
Like it's way funnier than I anticipated it being, and that I feel that it should be. And I have been enjoying it. It's only on episode 3 so far,
Okay.
so you can jump right in. I don't mind having to wait a week. I'm not really a binge person.
Oh, I'm a huge binge
Like
person,
I
so
don't like to spend hours with TV, especially if I want to pay attention.
yeah. I see. I don't. I like space out. There's like periods because I just read
Yeah,
that
see, no,
horrible book.
I don't want to be like, I don't need to intently watch, but I also feel like if I have something on as background, it's truly background. I'm not going to say like, yes, I watch this show
Mm,
because I'm not watching it.
yeah,
And you'll miss something. This show's not even that long. It's not like an hour long. I think it's like one of those maybe 30 to 40
20
minute type
minutes.
thing.
Okay.
Not that long. So I don't think it's much to just like enjoy the ride.
I guess. Yeah. I feel like the last show. It's really rare for me to like sit and wait for a show, and that last show I did that for was Succession. But I'm a binge watcher because I don't
Yeah.
watch that much TV. I mostly watch TV if I have like guests
That's
over.
why I don't mind it because like I think I watched it and then I was like, oh, it was like new. I didn't know it was new like that, and so then it was a few weeks before I could watch it again. So then I watched two. Like I just don't mind that because I don't think I don't need to have them all available because I'm not
No,
watching them all at once.
yeah. There's another show that I actually waited and watched, and I was so disappointed with it. It's on. It's about. There's a game. Oh, Fallout. Have you seen it?
No, because I don't like the premise of the game, and I never play. I didn't play the game because I don't like the premise of those games. So I was like, I knew I
Mm.
would not like the show, so I did not watch it.
Okay,
I knew I would not enjoy it.
I thought the first season was really interesting.
Yeah,
I did not really care for the second season,
like
so I don't know that I'm gonna watch the
I'm
third.
not
But
a big fan of the video game. Like I don't like the apocalypse. I just yeah, I'm not big on that.
no, that's fair. Um, One more extra take that I have is I read the book Neighbors by Diane Olivia, or was that her name? Diane. I hated it. I did not finish it.
Oh yeah, you did say. I was wondering if you were gonna finish it or not.
No, Diane Oliver. So I got, oh my God.
How far did you
So
get before you're like, I'm not doing this?
I read like half of it, I would say.
That's a solid effort.
Yeah, and also it's like a book of short stories.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mind a book of short stories. Like
I like short
I,
stories.
yeah, every short story, like every single one that I finished, I had no idea what it was about. And I was like, it was just so, and here, like I vaguely understand where she was trying to go, but like it was just like, eh.
Just
And
the execution was good.
what was that?
Just not good execution on.
Yeah, and I think part of it is which the epilogue was basically talking about how like, oh, because this lady Diane was around the time of like Toni Morrison and James Baldwin were
Oh,
like
okay.
whatever. However, she died at 22.
Oh, wow. I
Right.
thought this was like a modern, I didn't know this
No.
was okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's like her writing, like she was at the beginning stages of
Yeah.
becoming a great writer.
Mm.
Cause like the characters were like, oh, I could see this, but then it just never fleshes out to anything. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand why you think that like she deserves a lane in history, but she just died before she got there. So I think we should just like leave it alone.
Is it just now being published or something?
I think so. Like some person put together all her works and they like wanted
Oh,
her to
okay.
be
So
recognized.
maybe it just
And it's
wasn't
like,
going to
yeah,
be anything. I thought it was like they were published and it just didn't land.
no, because like these are just short
Yeah.
20, 30-page stories that like look like they were drafts
There
and
were drafts of novels and they weren't meant to be
finished.
short stories. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel, and the writing isn't like horrible. It's just like isn't executed. Like there's just like it's just everything felt unfinished, and it
Well,
was
it sounds
just
like it was.
right. Yeah. So it was just really frustrating that like someone did this author a disservice. I feel like maybe teach a class on it
Yeah.
on like Black literature and like
Okay.
dissect it there, but it's not meant for the masses.
I think that if you're going to do that, you need to have a very clear forward, just something to let people know, hey, these are works that we don't know if they were meant to be novel. Like, I mean, you need to kind of tell people what it is instead
Right.
of just saying, here's this book of short stories. If they're
And
not sure that was the intention, if they are not sure that they're finished, like if that's, they should have,
um,
if they prime you for that, I think you can read it for what it is and just,
exactly.
know.
And what made it even like I guess more frustrating is the pedigree that they put on it where they're like if you have Toni Morrison or August Wilson or James Baldwin on your
Yeah.
bookshelf,
And you're like,
this
no.
right like, does like this is crazy to say that. And like
Yeah.
also I think too if I was maybe younger it might have resonated a little bit better. Like if I was like 25 and I read this, I might have been like, oh, I could see the vision. But like
Yeah. I
to your
think
point
they should have
earlier,
explained what this was, and then
yeah,
you could have, because then I think you're reading it with a different lens, and you're not as critical, or you're not like, what is this?
right, yeah. And it wasn't horrible. Like they're not like the premise of the stories are interesting, but
Mm-hmm.
it just never goes anywhere. Like there's a story that kind of was about I think it was the first story that I was like, I would love if the story like just had more to it. It didn't even need an ending. It could have been like just a blurb of time, but it was when segregation ended, and it was a story of a family grappling with actually sending their child to an integrated school, and he would have been the only child
Yeah.
that would similar to that lady in history that there's pictures and stuff about, but it was like the opposite. Like they were thinking about not doing it. And I was like, this is very interesting. And I feel like this is a very powerful narrative.
I mean, it's certainly indicative of perspectives at the time,
Right.
because there were a
Right.
lot of people who didn't want integration per se, right? They just wanted equal rights.
So it's not even that. So what happened with this specific family is that they thought, they thought their friends
Mhm.
also signed up to get their kids sent to the integrated school, and then, and then on the first like when they got like the letters and stuff, they're like, "Oh, you really did that." We did not. So then
We were just talking.
So then they were like, we thought everyone did it. So we thought that like we didn't think our son would be the only person
Yeah.
to this white school. So now we're fucking scared.
Yeah.
Which I was like, maybe that happened. I don't know, but like that's
Oh, I'm sure it
interesting.
did happen.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting, and I would have loved more. That was probably my favorite story out of the stories I did read from that book because I was like, this is cool. But again, everything else just felt very unfinished, and I was just frustrated because I was like, this isn't a book I was planning to like read with people or discuss with anyone. So for me to just power through this on my own, it's just like not going to be fulfilling in any way, shape, or
Well,
form.
and I'm sure you can find, I mean, it may end up being nonfiction. I'm sure you can find things that speak to that if you so choose.
I did not, honestly, I don't even care to read stuff like that. Um,
I
I,
understand.
yeah, I only read it because like the fucking at McNally's, the staff pick was just like this like is basically almost like Toni Morrison, and you know how I love Toni Morrison, so I was like, well, I have to read this. Did not have to read that.
I think it's just because a lot of people like that don't necessarily have a good working knowledge of modern US history. So for them,
Mhm.
it's like that's a profound concept that they probably never would have heard. And so they're just working off of the novelty of something like that rather than, you know, anything else.
That's fair. I will say I did like the cover art. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's like over there. It's far, but I did like the cover art too, which was like compelling. Um, I don't know, but yeah, that's my hot take on that. I was deeply disappointed. Well, that concludes this month's episode of Hot Takes Cold Brew. We'd love to hear your takes, whether that be about the books we read or errors or omissions we made. So please share your thoughts in the comments and like and share or gatekeep. Remember that if we get famous, we will let the fame change us. For those at home who want to follow along, we'll be reading, what is it called? The Full Moon Coffee Shop by May Mock.
Sound it out.
I feel like Donald Trump.
How did you say that word?
Mock Chizuki. Okay.
That was good. That was good. That was nothing
Thank
like
you.
acetaminophen.
For next episode, see you next time. Happy reading.
See ya.
Bye. Oh my God.